Dorothy with That Scrapbooking, and these are the 3 examples of the card kit called Welcoming Garden. Gorgeous, right? They're really beautiful cards and very easy to make. And look at those beautiful envelopes that come with this card kit. Just love how pretty they are and how cheerful they are. These are perfect cards for just a little hello and thinking of you kind of thing to send out to somebody who needs a little cheer, or you're just saying thank you. Anyway, love these cards, love the hominess of the gates, and the warmth and the friendliness of the flowers, and just really enjoyed this. This is available right now. It is September 2025. It's available from Stampin Up, and you can go to ask for the consultant or the maker, Dorothy Smith. Thanks for watching. We'll see you on the other side. Bye.
Hi, this is Dorothy with That Scrapbooking, and I am going to open this new kit called Welcoming Garden Kit. So let's see what we've got here. My last video was the heirloom arrangement kit, and I really, really liked that. I thought it was just so, the cards are so beautiful. So I'm excited to see this kit. So here we go. And we get a crumb cake stamping spot. I'm getting such a good collection of the stamping spots from all of the card kits, because you get these stamping spots with the card kits and the paper pumpkin kits. So there we have crumb cake. I love the name because I totally love crumb cake. And here is the little stamp. It says just a note and thanks, and thinking of you today, with a gate. Okay, so fits snugly in that little box. I love how everything is packed very tightly, so there's not jostling around. The corners of the cards don't get messed up. They really do a nice job, so any of your die cuts are all intact and no bending, no crimped corners or anything. So let me just... Okay, so we've got some of the small, dimensional double stick pieces. We have another 3x3 block, which I just love those blocks. They're a really very versatile size. You can use them for so many of your stamping needs. It's just a perfect size block. Okay, so I'm going to keep this to put my stamp in. Put my block over here, and we've got double stick tape, which this is really tough tape. And we've got really pretty envelopes. Look at these pretty envelopes. Those are gorgeous. Okay, I'll set those over here. And here are 3 white cards. Look how pretty. Oh, wow, look at this. How adorable is this? Okay, so we have one, 2, 3 of those, and then we have these pretty kind of watercolorish. So 3, 4, 5, 6 of those. And here are little places to put our sentiments. I'll just leave those intact for right now. And well, let's see what those are going to go for. Okay, we've got some gorgeous wrought iron gates. That come out just so beautifully. All intact. Always a good thing, right? And a little birdhouse. And this is 3 together, so you can pop them out all at one time. I like the bonjour and hello. And some garden posts. I'm going to throw out some of this, but I'm keeping those just because. Okay, so what we have here, this is just, I am really glad that I got this kit because this is just beautiful, and I totally love flowers. My garden is pretty crazy because it's all perennials that I just let them do their thing back there. My main point of having perennials is, number one, they take care of themselves. They're very hardy. You don't have to replant them every year, so you save yourself a lot of money. The butterflies and the bees absolutely love perennials. So I am feeding the butterflies and bees, which makes me feel really good. And it's kind of wild and woolly looking like this, maybe not that neat. But you have very little that you have to do when you have perennials. I mean, I am so glad that I went that route instead of trying to have, the flowering annuals just have, very spectacular flowers. And the perennials, a little different. Okay, so here we've got a bunch of leaves, and I'll take some time to pop all the little flowers out. And this is glorious to me. Just all the different flowers. So anyway, you get the idea. Now I'm not going to make you watch me take every single one of those out. But the whole idea of these kits is you get to make beautiful cards that you're proud of, and it doesn't take you a whole lot of time. Imagine if you had to cut out something like this. I mean, you would be a crazy person. So I popped out 3 at a time. So just to give you that's what that looks like. Anyway, I think these are going to be beautiful, and I am going to take some time to pop out all the little flowers. Set those over here. And we've got our little card that at a glance you can see just exactly what stamp you have in your little envelope. So what I'm going to do is take off a tad and put this in here. Like that. and put my stamp in. So you've got a nice little place to hold your new stamp set, so you can find them easily and see what exactly it is. Okay, so I'm going to take the time. Here's the other thing we've got are, of course, the cards, the suggested how to put the cards together. And here are our easy to follow instructions. So you see all these little single flowers are going to go on here. So there's our instructions. So I am going to take time to take my flowers out, and then I will be back with you. Okay, so I've got everything sorted. I've got my ink spot, and I've got all my little flowers are all sorted on top of the envelopes. And so here's the instructions, and they have this little stamp. They want to add detail to the gate. And so we have this stamp, which, see, it's just lines for the wood. And we'll go ahead and put this on our block. I'll put my little houses over here. I need to give this a fold first. Okay, so let's ink up our block with our crumb cake, which sounds really good about now. Okay, so we're going to start at the bottom here and just kind of give a little press. And continue on for all of the slats of wood. You could turn things around. Don't know that it makes any difference, really. And we're just going to continue on to do all the slats of the wood that are in the gate. So just a little bit of detail. Okay, so we've got, this is how the card folds out. We're going to put this over here. And then we're going to start adding additional, we want to add depth here. So we're going to take our little flower and these are tiny, so I'm going to go ahead and add it to the back. And we're just going to put it on top of the other little flower. See? And here we've got a double. So we've got one here and one here. And that is going to go on, not there, where the flowers are right next to each other. So when you close it, the flowers stand out, and also the little birdhouse. So, like I always say, it's always good to have, let me put these doubles over here. It's always good to have dimension to your cards to add some interest. Okay, so then one more. And that is going to go right here. And so see, you don't have to put any down here because those are already covered. And so we've got our dimensions taken care of, and then we're going to use the, and look, they've already distressed the edge for you. Okay, so we're going to pull out. You've got thanks or just a note. Either one would fit on there. And then we'll ink that up. And we'll put the thanks right there in the middle. And that is going to have two of these. And that will go on right up here. So, how cute? So cute. And then you can have add a little note there. Okay, so here we have the second card, the instructions. So we have the same wood grain that we're going to use again, and we are going to put it on these 3 pieces. And then we've got this beautiful dark gate, and we have the 3 vines. So the vines are going to go behind the gate, like this. So they're going to fit right behind here. And then we can have some of the vines peeking out. Around and above. Oop. There we go. So that's going to be like that. So we're going to put our, probably shouldn't have done that. Okay, so we're going to put our strip of where our roll is. We're going to put this on the front of the vine. So that is going to go right on there. And then we'll cut it off a little short. Pull off our strip. And I think what I'm going to do is just like I did here. I am going to match up the bottom just like that. So it's attached, the vines are attached to the bottom of the gate. And we'll have these things coming around and popping through like that. Pretty, right? Okay, so we're going to take these 3 pieces, the card, and we're going to stamp those like up here. We want to try to make them parallel, preferably. I think I'll take my thanks off. I think what I'm going to do is just put the stamp right on the very edge of the block, and then I have kind of a better chance of getting things to be parallel, like excuse me, line up the block to the edge of the paper. So like this. And then we're going to put some, excuse me, some strips along the back. Top, bottom, and middle. And that is going to go onto the front of this pretty cloud card. The stamping is just going to add a kind of a hint of detail behind the gate. So we're going to put this equidistant like that. And then we've got a bunch of flowers that are going to go onto the vine. But in the meantime, we've got, let's see, the vine is going to get attached. I think we're going to put another strip down here. And I might put a little, well, no, I can't do that because this is flat, so never mind. And the gate is going to go just a little bit below the white card, evenly spaced. So just like that. And now we're going to take a whole bunch of the flowers. So we've got a threesome and a threesome and a threesome and then 3 singles. And we're going to put our 3-dimensional on the back.
So I need to go buy it. Are you in here?
Just a minute.
Oh.
Sorry, husband came in. Okay, so we're continuing to put the dimensionals on the backs of our flowers here. Okay, so we've got a 3 flower going right up in here. And another flower going right down here. I love the orange and yellow with this. And then we have some singles. And this one is going to go like right in here. But in the meantime, we need to put a little, just a note. So we're going to put that right here. It's so much easier to do a whole bunch of stamping, and you can always use a little just a note. So you've got a lot of chance to, if you make a mistake, you've got always another sentiment holder to be able to correct any mistakes. Okay, so just a note is going to go right across the bar here. And then we've got some little singles that are going to go here right by it. And another single. It's going to add a little color down in this corner. And then another one that just kind of gives a highlight. So there we go. How cute is that? It's so pretty. Oh, look, another flower. Okay, that's always good. So there's our first of our second cards. Okay, now we're going to make the rest. Okay, I ran out of batteries and my video card. I needed to get new battery and a empty video card. And so I'm back. Okay, so we are, let's see, what are we doing here? This gate actually, oh, I wasn't supposed to put anything on here. Okay. Oop. Pay attention to your instructions. Okay, let's do this again. Okay, so this is going to go right to the edge of the green. Take these things off. And then this needs also some tape. Okay, this is going to be the other part of the fence, and this is going right to the edge. The edge. So you've got a little gate here. Okay, so we want to add, well, a couple of things. So we're going to put the hello on here, which is this little guy. So he's going to go right here on the gate. And then the last phrase that we haven't used yet is thinking of you. So let's go ahead and ink that up. And we're going to line it up with the little lines. Of the sentiment strip. We still have two more. And if you have other sentiments that you want to use, that's certainly your choice. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and flip these over and add, do they have, or do they have strips on this? Yeah, they have dimensionals on it. Open our little gate. And we're going to put this right amongst the flowers. Okay, so now what we've got here is we've got a yellow flower going here, and the little purple, and these are kind of lilac color. So we're going to put 3 of those on. One of these, one of these. It looks like grapes, actually, although it's a flower. And here are the little lilacs. So these are going to be adding dimension to this card. And they actually, you know, they kind of look like they're kind of, well, they are sticking up because they were part of the thing that we adhered to the card, right? So we have dimension on top of a little dimension. Did I mention that? Okay, here we go. This is going to go here over the fence. Oh, that looks so good. And see, I like when you put it on top of the fence, it really adds to the dimension. There we go. And I like that some of the bottom flower sticks out. And then this is going to go right up here. Okay, so this one's going to go here. That one's going to go up there. So just a little bit of dimension, and then you open this up and it says, "Thinking of you today." So how cute is this with the little gate? I love that. Okay. Since that was kind of a spotty video, let's go ahead and do another one. And we're going to go ahead and add the dimensionals to our posts. So our posts are ready to go. And our sentiment is ready to go. One of the flowers is ready to go. Another post. Okay, so let's go ahead and get our gate stamp or our fence stamp. And try to do a good job of lining it up. Okay, let me get this over here and line these up. And then we're going to line these up over here and try to do a better job than I did last time. Okay. Then we've got a post and a post. And then we'll put the top one on there. Okay, let's go ahead and get our card going. And the floral with a strip. I tell you, the laser has given us just a whole new dimension to the cutouts that we have. They're just so precise and so gorgeous. And this is going right down to cover up all the blue on the bottom edge and on the side. And so we've got this, and we're going to put down some tape on the different fence pieces, but not on the gate. We're going to learn, aren't we? Okay, here we go. Here and here. Oop. And so this is also going to help adhere. Now this is going to go on the right along the edge and lining up to the lighter strip here. See, it was made just for the gate, or that part of the fence. Okay, let me go ahead and put my sentiment down. And we're going to put it over here too, just on the side piece so we can open the gate. So see, you can see just exactly where that's supposed to go. Okay, now let's get our grapes and our sunflowers and then our little lilacs. And our hello, we need a there's our sunflower. That is going to go like this. That one's going to go right up here. And this one is going to go over the fence, and I just love how so much more dimension is added when you're coming over the fence than just putting it up here, which is nice too, but it just adds a lot, the strategic placement. Of the flower. I really appreciate that. One here. You can actually put them wherever you want. That's totally up to you. There's our flowers and our sentiment and our little hello. And there we go. So card 2 is done. Okay, and on to card 3. Hello.
Okay, excuse me, we're finishing up the last of the cards, and I'm going ahead and taking the fence posts off, taking their little stickies off and adding them, and also adding the little sentiment thinking of you right in the middle of all the flowers. I just think these cards they're so cute and so pretty much easy to put together. This total took me an hour and 20 minutes, I think. You know, I don't think it would take you that long. But anyway, it took me that long, so I speeded up the video. And to tell you the truth, I speeded it up, but it looks like it's normal, my normal, what a normal person would do to do the movement. So what can I tell you? Anyway, these cards really cool. I love them, and you know, if you haven't subscribed to me, please subscribe. So here I'm going to show you all the cards in the envelopes.
Thank you so much for watching. And once again, this is called the Welcoming Garden Kit, which is available from Stampin' Up. Thank you so much for watching. Bye now. Hi, this is Dorothy with Scrapbooking. Thanks for watching my channel. Please subscribe and learn along with me. Thank you. Bye-bye.